At the exact time of this video recording, I have 356 blog posts on my blog. I rank for over 384,000 keywords on Google, and I get over 522,000 people to visit my blog every single month. So what does this mean? Well, it means that my blog makes a lot of money today. It basically makes a baseline of about $250,000 a month in 2022, and that's through affiliate revenue, sponsorship deals, cost per click deals, course sales and partnerships, ad revenue, these main revenue streams. But what does this mean? Why are we talking about keywords today? Well, we have to talk about leverage, and really this whole thing, even this YouTube channel, the reason I'm on here, the reason I'm teaching, the way that I have traffic, how I've built an audience, it all started by ranking for keywords online. So in this video, I want to show you exactly, how I started doing this, how I started doing keyword research and ranking content back in 2019 when I started my blog, and what that looked like over the last 3 years to grow my blog into the 7-figure business it is today. But before we get started, I want to invite you to watch my free masterclass on how to start a profitable blogging business. It goes over all of my strategies in depth on content, link building, affiliate marketing, how I make that money. It's a 90-minute free training, so make sure to click the link in the description below. And let's get into the topic for today. All right, so first let's dive deeper today and look at my blog in Ahrefs, the popular SEO tool, to check out things like my traffic value, top pages, referring domains, Ahrefs rank, and some post analysis. So when we look at my blog, we can see that right now it's saying it has 526,000 monthly visitors, which is actually pretty close to being accurate. And I rank for 384,000 keywords on Google. That's what that means. My domain rating is 79, so that's a scale from 0 to 100 based on the authority of the site. And I have an Ahrefs rank of 15,765, which means that it's kind of like a golf score. The higher, the better. So I have the 15,000th most authoritative site online. First, let's look at traffic value. So traffic value is an interesting metric that says, if I were to bid on these keywords on Google, what would I have to spend on a monthly basis in order to rank for all of these things? So we can see that all of these different positions I have for these different keywords, the value of the individual post, if I have to bid on traffic to rank for that keyword on Google. So lots of posts in the 30,000 plus range if I wanted to rank for them. So valuable content, valuable posts. I also just want to show you straight out just my top pages. So, this is actually goes to top pages, so that's good. So if we look at top pages and we just look at it from a traffic standpoint, we can see what pages on my blog are bringing the most traffic. I have nothing to hide here. I can show you exactly what I'm ranking for, the exact keyword strategy. I am confident in my abilities to rank, so it's not a big deal. But we can see that some of the keywords we're ranking for here out of the 384,000 are things like how to download YouTube videos, number one for that. What makes a good leader. So I have some interesting informational content, leadership qualities, business ideas. But then really we get into the meat of what makes money. It's going to be the pages that rank in the top 10 for these software keywords. So it's like affiliate programs rank number 3. Online course platforms, number 1. Rank tracking tools, number 1. Photo editing software, 4. Podcast hosting, number 1. How to start a blog, number 8. Photo management software. Webinar platforms, SEO tools. Lots of number 1 rankings. VoIP provider, OTT. Zoom alternatives, transcription software. The list is really endless. Website builders, we rank number 6. OCR software, AI writing, we rank number 1. Best CRM, number 5. And it just goes down the list. And it shows you these aren't just keywords we're ranking for. We don't just rank for everything under the sun. We have a direct monetization strategy, which is why we make so much money. So let's just go over a few more. Podcast software, community platforms, fulfillment services, so e-commerce type terms, green screen software, NFTs, HRIS, grammar checkers, my own name, obviously, direct mail, video platforms, Hootsuite versus Buffer. So when we look at this from a top pages standpoint, we see that there's a ton of content ranking and the keywords are actually really valuable and can make a lot of money. So after that, we want to go into referring domains. So let's take a quick look then at the profile of my backlinks just to see what's going on there. So you can see a lot of high quality backlinks like Calendly, Wix, Weebly, Webflow, BigCommerce, WikiHow, Entrepreneur.com, Fiverr, Teachable, Thinkific, Substack, Elementor, Ahrefs, the very site we're using, HostGator, and on and on. So when we look at that from a perspective of what does this mean? What does all of this mean? How do we rank all of these keywords? Well, I just wanted to show you exactly what's happening now, and also wanted to show you a little bit more proof. So here's analytics over the last 30 days as of this recording date. It's going to be published in the future, but as of this recording date, that's the sessions to the blog, AdamEnfroy.com. And then I just want to show you, I can just pull up my profit and loss in QuickBooks and go, so from January 1 to March 8th, 2022, today, 544,000. As you see here, affiliate revenue, course sales, sponsorship, ads, CPC, partnerships. So I just wanted to show you that, to show like I'm not BSing you here. A lot of people say, that's impossible, you're lying, you can't make that much money. I want people to just think bigger in what a blogging business actually is. So that's some of the numbers there. But we want to talk about this from a perspective of like, how do you rank for all of these keywords? What does that look like? Well, what does 384,000 keywords actually look like? If we go back to top pages and we see, let's just look at one of these individual articles, we can see that actually, let's look at like, so graphic design software right here. Well, that one actually ranks, if we look at it from the keywords perspective, it ranks for 2,556 keywords. So we're talking about individual keywords, but we're also talking about like a topical cluster here, because people search for things differently. Some people search best graphic design software, programs, software for graphic design. But we can see this huge list, and it's really a topic cluster. So for example, that's graphic design software. We can see that how to make money on YouTube actually ranks for 6,000, that our individual article ranks for 6,270 keywords. So when we do keyword research, we look for these parent topics. So not necessarily, I don't want to create an article that says how many subs on YouTube to make money, when I can also rank for that for just how to make money on YouTube. So usually we're thinking about parent topics. We're thinking about how do I turn these 300 blog posts into 300,000 rankings, right? So we have to do that from a keyword research perspective. But I just wanted to kind of go over that to show you currently where my blog is at. With that, let's talk about what I did to actually get here, because it took a number of years to make that happen. It's not going to happen overnight. But when we build blogging businesses, we're really building them like a 5-year plan to really build the foundation of all of this leverage. So in 2019, basically I started my blog in January, and I published 1 article per week myself. So that was basically just sitting on my computer after work, writing an article, maybe writing 500 words a day, and then hitting publish once a week. Then at month 3, I hired my first writer. So that was when I took all the stuff that I was writing, and I was able to outsource it. So I gave an outline, I gave the target keyword. I really trained my writer on the exact process and formatting and structure, like I talk about in other videos, of how to make a quality blog post. So that freed up a lot of my time to focus on the other areas of the business. So when we look at year 1, I published 85 articles on my own blog. The first year, I hired a link building assistant at month 6. So once I started getting some trickles of money coming in, that's when I hired my link building assistant. And what she ended up doing, she was really helpful in building up these initial guest posts. So I also did 85 guest posts on other blogs in my blog's first year. If you Google like my name plus author, you'll see all the different guest posts that I wrote. So with that link building assistant, she was really helpful with like sending email outreach, pitching topics, getting the guest post assigned, getting our links added in, up to the point where I can edit this guest post, just look at it, and then submit it. So guest posts really, really important for building my links up in the blog's first year, building up my authority. When you're a brand new blog and you have no authority and no links, Google's not going to rank you for anything. So authority is half of the equation. So that's what the first year basically looked like. 50-50 split between publishing on my own blog, 85 articles, publishing guest posts on other blogs. So then year 2 came, and I increased the velocity a little bit. So I started publishing 2 articles a week with 2 writers. So that was a little bit faster. Then I continued writing guest posts, but man, it's a grind to do this guest posting thing and managing that content and all the project management and doing all of that and the outreach. It got exhausting. So I slowed it down a little bit, but I still did about probably 40 or 50 guest posts in the second year. So again, the content and link building machine never stopped going. You have to keep going, build leverage, get rankings, and keep going. So 2021 was a big year where I completely automated the blog. So that means, I do a little bit of keyword research, but I give my writing team the posts for like a few months, the keywords basically that they're going to write, and then it's automatically done. So everything from writing to publishing to uploading to WordPress to training them on internal links, and all of that is completely automated so that I can focus on these other areas of the business. So in 2022, today, what do? Well, we publish right now, at the time of this recording, 16 to 20 articles a month, and update 16 to 20 articles a month, because old content always needs to be refreshed to maintain its rankings. And the blog runs completely on its own with a content manager and 2 other writers. So again, our content manager is really good. He's paid well, and a solid salary, monthly salary. He does everything from updating posts to writing new posts to uploading everything in WordPress, internal link structure, how to do all of that stuff. A real, hired content manager at this point to really run all of these operations. So I still do all the keyword research. I always like looking at emerging trends and finding new opportunities in like finance and in software and in blogging and all these areas. So I still do that. But the big focus for 2022 is sales and monetization, because we have all of these posts ranking, like you saw on Ahrefs. We have hundreds of articles ranking on Google, and a lot of them can make money, but do we have affiliate links in every post? some are missing a lot, or maybe affiliate isn't working, so we could sell spots. In my previous video on next level blog monetization, we talked about how to sell spots and sponsorships and do all of that. So we're really building out the sales effort, because I think we have about $500,000 a month just laying on the ground that needs to be picked up and sold. So that's the big focus for this year. So how do you rank for 384,000 keywords? Well, one at a time. And it's really just a long-term play based on building leverage in the real world. So, no matter what kind of content you're creating, if you're a content creator, you start out with no audience, an audience of 0. And then you start creating content, whether it's on YouTube or in a blog, and you just start consistently creating content and consistently building an audience. And when you do it on Google and YouTube and you can create an evergreen audience, then these just different leverage points start building in your life. You get to learn more, you learn as you go, you start to create a real business, you start to build an audience, and when you have that audience, you can almost do anything. So the more that you stay with it, the more that you do it, it opens it up. Think about Mr. Beast on YouTube. Like, he started 10 years ago, 11 years ago, just simply creating videos that he wasn't good at. But then he got aggressively, obsessed with the algorithm. He invested everything back into his content, and now he has 4 warehouses, studios, and he's has Hollywood budgets for his YouTube videos. And it's all because he just kept going, he just kept learning, and he kept investing back in the business. He's an extreme example on the YouTube side, but on the blogging side, the principles are the same. You create content, you put it out in the world, you build an audience, you learn as you go, you keep creating better content, pushing the bar further, building a bigger audience, and then all the money and sales and all of these opportunities and sponsorships start appearing. But how do you rank for these keywords initially? Well, you publish content aggressively. I learned, over the course of a couple of years that I was publishing really slow. I was like, maybe I could go from 2 articles a week to 4, but would that mess up all my internal links, and would it be too fast? The answer is no. There's big media sites, think like Tom's Guide or Tech Radar or Forbes. They're publishing dozens, if not 100 articles every single day. So you have to think bigger when it comes to a lot of this stuff. So to publish content aggressively, you need a content assembly line. I have other videos talking about that, how you need to go from create your content process like an assembly line. There's keyword research, quick outline, writing the post, uploading it, getting it published in a minimum viable post format so that it's just optimized for search engines, updating it over time, doing some link building, working on the rankings, and just consistently producing that content. And then to make money, you need the transactional and informational posts. So to be an expert in your niche, it's the transactional best of product roundup posts plus the informational how to do things posts in your niche. But you can always have the exact same format. So it's always easy to outsource to do them yourself when you have the exact same format that always works and always ranks. And then you want to do your on-page SEO with a tool like Surfer to maximize and tell Google that you have the best content by putting the right keywords in the right places. You also want to update content on a regular basis. So when you're first publishing your minimum viable post and you're publishing at a certain frequency, say 1 to 2 posts a week, you want to make sure it's optimized for search engines. You hit the publish button, it's indexed in Google Search Console, then you get an initial ranking. And then, how often do you update? So maybe you update every 3 months or every 6 months, but you need to have an updating schedule to keep your consistent rankings. It's like you start ranking, and if you don't update ever, it'll slowly trickle down. So you just want to update on a regular basis. Now, when you update, if it's already optimized for SEO, that's when you start making it better for human beings. Intro hooks, more interesting content, better readability, better content user experience. So that's things like table of contents and videos and graphics and information and the writing style. But you want to update that on a regular basis. Ultimately, you have to master search intent, because that's what all of this comes back to. People think things, they type it into Google or into YouTube, and you have to be the best possible content for them. And to do that, you have to know search intent and the intent behind their search. So in a transactional sense, are they looking for a product? Give them a list post, give them a certain format and structure, and this is the best for beginners, the best for advanced people, and give them all the information that they need. But you really have to master search intent, and I have other videos on that. You also have to build links to your blog. This is the hardest part for new bloggers to master. Anyone can write a bunch of content. Anyone can, I would not rank for 384,000 keywords if I didn't do link building. It's that simple. Now, a lot of, so-called bloggers and people that teach this stuff say that link building is dead or you don't need to do link building. Completely a myth. If you want to, stay behind your computer and write blog posts and never do link building, you can get some traffic, but the traffic that you get is going to be for keywords that aren't going to make you that much money. You might make a few $1,000s a month, but if you want to get to $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $200,000 a month, you need to do link building, because the keywords that make money based on having search volume and having transactional intent are competitive. So you have to do link building to rank for them. So in order to rank for 384,000 keywords on Google, you have to publish content, get links, and create systems for both of these things. So it's really that simple, because the best content and the best links win. So again, we have to go back to leverage. We have to talk about what all of this means. I think leverage is the most important thing in business, in blogging, in everything. When we go back to when I first started my blog, I had a career, and when you start in a career before you're an entrepreneur, you need to also use leverage. And you need to build skills for a number of years in order to take your entrepreneurship venture out. So for example, I can't just start a random business in a niche I know nothing about. So that's where, the most high lever tactic that you can use is to increase your skills at that point. You talk to your boss, you say, these are the things I did to grow the company's revenue. I would like a raise. And then you build leverage into your career. So you start getting promotions, you start working your way up, you start learning more, learning every day. And then once you've felt like you've learned enough, you might be ready to take on entrepreneurship. I did that with my blog. So I used my career as a digital marketing director to start helping me. I learned so much about content and blogging and all of that. And I took that leverage and I applied it in some of my early guest posts. So I said, hey, I'm a digital marketing director for this brand. Can I write a guest post? Can I do this? Can I do that? And I started building this leverage for my blog. And then when I took my blog full time, it was also a leverage game. So it was, I started getting traffic, and then it said, hey, I can make sales for you, brand. Would you like to be added to this post? In return, I want links, I want sponsorship money. And the more traffic you get, the more eyeballs on your stuff over time, the more leverage that you have. So if you want to seek attention in the attention economy through YouTube and through Google and all of these things, you build an audience, you get that attention, and then the attention keeps building and it keeps building. And you have to choose, which niche and which, basically which boat you want to get on, which, high value lever you want to join. And then over time, once you have those eyeballs and that attention, then you can monetize it. So it's all about leverage. Whether you're creating a YouTube channel, if you're a new blogger, if you're writing blog posts, it all starts with leverage. But really all of that is ranking for keywords. All the sales opportunities that came through my blog wasn't me like reaching out or doing outbound sales. It was brands inbound directly reaching out saying, I want to be added to this post. I'd like to sponsor a YouTube video. I want to do these things. All the sales were just inbound coming in. Now we're creating an outbound strategy, but so far it's all inbound. And these opportunities to come up in your life are all started from keywords. Like I didn't know 3 years ago that me writing blog posts and ranking for keywords would get me to a point where I would teach this course, where I would, build a blogging course, where I would also have partnerships with big brands like Jasper to create other blogging courses, where I would do all of these things, where I would create a YouTube channel. I didn't think my 2022 would be almost 100% YouTube, but that's where the opportunity lies and where the biggest levers are. So at this point, we're really turning the small business into a media company. And to do that, we're increasing publishing velocity, we're automating the content production, and then I'm shifting my focus to the information side of the business. So this keywords, and I want to start this because the video started with keywords. We're talking about how I rank for keywords, but you notice if you want to figure out the tactics and the individual, like this is where you put this word, and this is how you do an outreach email for link building, you can watch another video. But we need to get above that and just get out of the tactics and out of the worry. All the questions I get a lot of the time are like, but what if this happens? What if that happens? Just start taking action on this stuff fearlessly and stop asking for, will this hurt my site? Will I do this little detail wrong? The more that you just start taking action, you will figure this out. But you have to do that yourself, and no one can hold your hand when you do it. So to turn a small blog into a media company, I've shifted my focus to the information side so that 80% of my time is now spent on these customer-facing things like YouTube videos, course content, and all of that. And then as we grow from 1 million to 3 to 10 over the course of time, I want people to start thinking bigger in what a blogging business is. When I first started my blog, I didn't realize that I thought maybe the maximum you could make was like $20,000 or $30,000 a month. That's some of the people I saw. And then I thought, maybe the maximum's $100,000 or $200,000 a month. That's what some of the biggest people are making. But now I realize no, like you can turn a personal blog into a media company that's making $10 million, $20 million, $30 million a year. But you just have to consistently have an approach and build it with leverage. So now all my time spent on delegation, building a team, and finding the highest growth levers in all these different revenue streams. But all of it started just by ranking for some keywords on Google, starting with blogging and affiliate marketing. So if you're interested in learning more, interested in how I structure the business, in all of my affiliate marketing strategies, SEO, link building, content marketing, more about the content assembly line and link building, make sure to watch my free masterclass at the link below. Thousands of students have gone through it and had lots of aha moments. So click that link in the description below. And let me know what you think. Do you rank for any keywords today? Have you used your blog as a leverage point in your life? Hopefully this video was helpful and it shows that you can rank for a ton of keywords if you have the right strategies in place. Make sure to watch other videos if you're really interested in the specifics. I have videos exactly on keyword research, exactly on link building and what to do for those things. But I wanted to frame this video showing you that yes, I rank for all these keywords, but what did that bring into my life? Well, it brought a business that's going to make $3 million this year, brought all this different leverage points and growing it into a real business and learning along the way. So hope you enjoyed the video. Please like it, and I will see you in the next one.